Okay, so this is for a 2013 Kia Soul, and this fits certain years, and also the coolant fan is the same coolant fan found in some Hyundai Elantras. So I don't know if that'll help you find it, but I'm just going to go through real quick and try and point out some things to do to make this easier. Replacing the coolant fan, which is this whole thing right here. Start out, I used a number 10 short socket, and also came in handy was a 3-inch extension. And okay, so the goal is to get the coolant fan here off, and I'm gonna have my handy assistant hold the camera while I'm just going to point out where the screws are and bolts that need to be come out to make this a much easier process. Okay, so we start out with disconnect the battery, and the next thing we did was pop this off, loosen this screw right here. You don't have to take it off, just loosen it. And there's 2 clips over here, 2 clips on this, that's good, that need to be popped off, and this will come out. This will slide back. You don't have to disconnect it, it'll just kind of push that back out of the way. These 2 screws come out, and so that'll give you, all of this will be out of the way, kind of out of the way. This right here is a housing. It has 2 hoses coming to it, but by removing the housing, it doesn't affect any of the fluids. The fluids stay in. So there's a bolt here, and a bolt down at the bottom, which I had to use the extension to get to this one. These are all, again, everything I used was a 10 millimeter. So once you disconnect that, you're going to push this out of the way. This will just like kind of fall back. Then you'll be easily able to get to this. We pulled it out without taking this off, and we took a chance of damaging the radiator and also damaging this, whatever is going on here. So once all this is out of the way, this little metal piece, can you see right there? Little metal piece here that my finger's pointing to. That has a bolt that you get to from this angle right here to the side. But before you can get to that bolt, this has 2 bolts underneath it, right here and right here, that screw in this way. You got to take those 2 bolts out, drop this down, just get it, it'll just slide out of the way. It'll still be connected, but it'll just fall out of the way. Then you get the 1 bolt that this is screwed in by, and then that'll fall off. It'll be connected to a wire and fall out. Just tuck it out of the way. You'll disconnect this hose, and you'll disconnect this hose. So now this is out of the way, this is pushed back, this is gone, this is out of the way, and this is able to just slide that way. Now when we took it out, I disconnected this hose from down there. Is this showing up? Can you see it?
Yeah.
I just connected this hose from down there. Now, I was worried that I might lose fluid, and this was open, and this was open at the bottom because we removed this and this. So I covered that with plastic and covered the intake underneath here. Once this is gone, the intake with plastic, just in case any fluid came out, because you don't want to get fluid in there. So again, This is pushed back, this is gone, this is gone, this is pushed back, and this is able to be pushed out of the way. Then Kia really made this easy in the big picture, because the radiator fan only has this bolt, again a number 10, and then the same thing but on this side, easily able to get to once you move all this right there. There's no bolts on the bottom. This whole unit sets into two little pockets, which are, oh, where's this? They are right here. There's two little pockets. Is that showing up?
Well, yeah, it's showing up.
That these just kind of set into, and you push it back and it screws in. It's very easy once you get to it. Once you move this stuff, this comes in and out, no problem. Like I said, we removed everything except for this, and to get it out we really had to manhandle it, and then take a chance of damaging. So disconnect the battery, remove this, push this back, remove these 3 bolts, this whole unit puts back. Of course, you'll have to disconnect this hose. 2 bolts just underneath this from this side, and this thing here has 1 bolt coming from this side here, and that was it. So I don't know that it could be much easier. I couldn't find any videos for it when we were looking for support, so I thought I'd make the video, and that's it. What it was doing wrong originally was, if I drove it, it was fine. The car was fine. If I stopped at a red light for longer than a couple minutes, or got stuck in traffic, it would slowly start to overheat. And if I came to a stop at any point, a stop even for a second, the AC would stop blowing cold air and would stop blowing like musky, not hot air, but just uncomfortably warm. And I had checked the fuses in here, the relays. There's, I believe, this one and this one. You'll have to look into it to make sure, because I've got little scars here on the. So I pulled these 2 out to switch them to see if maybe that would make the fan come on. It didn't, so I figured both fuses hadn't gone bad, or relays hadn't gone bad, so that wasn't the issue. Then, there's a wire underneath here, the actual power to the fan. Of course, you'll have to disconnect that. Then we ran a wire from here. This is to test the fan before I removed it. We ran a wire from here to the positive on the fan, and here to the negative on the fan. By doing that, the fan should have kicked on automatically. It didn't. That's how I confirmed 100% that it was the fan. So just make sure you put everything back the way you had it, and you should be fine. Everything works great for me, and that's it. Thank you.